We came together with the 100 Black Men and BISD. Basically, the program is to make students aware of the culture, the different cultures and history, to give students an opportunity of exposure to travel to the different competitions. And hopefully next year, the students that participate in the program, the 8th graders that were chosen, will be able to enroll in an elective at Central High School and receive credit for what they're doing now.
All right, who is the first Black mayor of Beaumont?
Oh, y'all are sad.
Hello, who was the Black mayor of Beaumont?
First.
What you mean first? How about all that? Okay.
Does anyone know?
Well, I know I haven't discussed it, but I know that some parents discussed it.
Who was it?
Stand out loud.
Stand up, stand up.
I don't exactly know the name.
What's his name?
Well, point to him then.
Is he here?
Yes.
Where is he? Okay, so now if I ask the question, who's the first Black mayor of Beaumont, someone will say his name, David Moore, and yada yada yada. Okay, then if someone else has that information, they would say he graduated from whatever high school, right? And then someone else may say he played sports and went to Lamar University, right? So that's the point I'm trying to get to. You need to build on the information like that, okay? In other words, the mayor of Beaumont was David Moore. I'm gonna ask that question again. So the next time we ask that question, I want you all to know more about that because you need to know what school he went to, what university he went to. You need to find out what degree he has. You need to find out what his wife's name is. All that kind of stuff, okay? And then you need to know just that much about everyone that we're going to ask you questions about.
The representatives that you saw this afternoon were the 100 Black Men's Club, and they are basically sponsoring this event for us, and through us they provide refreshments and guidance and leadership. What we're trying to do is get our students to a point to where they can compete at a national level with the 100 Black Men's Club.
What I'm trying to get you to understand is you have to have confidence in what you say. And you build confidence by practice. When I was at Southern University, we were in the band. The way we practiced was this. We stood in the mirror and we watched ourselves. When I played drums. We had to twirl sticks and do all kind of stuff with the sticks. We had to watch ourselves. When you give a speech, when you practice, go to the restroom and get in the mirror and watch yourself. That's how you do it. For the most part, the average preacher who preaches a sermon on Sunday morning, that's not his first time preaching that sermon. He's practiced it hundreds of times, starting off in the mirror in the bathroom. And the more you practice, it's going to become imprinted up here. You're going to get confident, and then you'll be able to deliver it almost effortlessly. And so that's how you do it. You don't wait, you say, oh, I'm afraid. Don't worry about that. Just keep on practicing and keep on practicing, and eventually it's going to start coming off the top of your head because you know it. And you have the confidence. And so that's what you do. You just keep on practicing, and keep on practicing. Somebody once said that proper preparation prevents poor performance. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Anybody who performs poor, they were not prepared. So before success is preparation. The way you prepare is to practice, 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 and practice.
All the information I really put in towards the 2 hours that I'm here every day, which is from 4 to 6. and then I go home and read for about an hour or so.
Got more things?
I wonder, will anyone approach the podium there, or the lectern, and tell us what you know about the Underground Railroad?
That shit good. That's what I'm.
Okay, well, of course, the Underground Railroad, most famous conductor was, of course, Harriet Tubman. And it had stations, quote unquote, which was shelters in private homes and black churches. And that's really it.
What was the
I
purpose of it?
apologize if anybody knows.
What was the purpose of it?
The purpose of it was for slaves to escape without anybody knowing and anybody capturing them. That was the main purpose for it.
How long was it?
How long was it?
From what state to where?
Did it go east and west or north or south?
It went from the south to the north.
Okay.
Was it a railroad?
It
Was
wasn't
it a
an
railroad
actual-
car or a train or what was it?
It was a lot of different passages, like some slaves were hiding in some wagons, I would say. And the people would drive it and make sure that nobody could see them by throwing like some potatoes over top of them. That way nobody could actually see them. And if they went through it, they couldn't actually find them.
Now, question. Who was the church, or what was the people who assisted them? What you people called, or what was their name?
They hadn't studied that yet, but it's okay. It's gonna be over there.
They
We're gonna do
should
religious.
Let me try it differently then, okay? With it being the Underground Railroad, were all the people that helped the slaves escape, were there other black people? Or were they all black?
No.
So.
Some of them were Caucasian and some of them, of course, were African American.
And what was the legitimate name for those people that tried to enslave you?
The people who tried to
There's a
enslave,
name.
abolitionists.
Thank you.
We've been doing some studying, y'all. We just didn't have that much to present to you all right here.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Good topic.
You're doing
Yes,
good.
Mr. Moore.
You're doing good.
If I'm sorry, Mr. Moore.
Yes.
I just want to say something to all of you up there. It's pretty apparent to us. Well, first of all, I'm David Moore.
The first black mayor of Beaumont.
It's pretty apparent that you all do have a good handle on what you've been studying. And then we appreciate that. But let me ask you a question. How many of you have ever decorated a Christmas tree? Okay, you get the Christmas tree, starts off pretty much like a green plant, right? And you add a little bit to it, right? And you add a little bit more to it, correct? And you add a little bit more to it, right? And eventually you put an ornament at the very top of it. You step back, you cut the lights on, and that's your finished project, right? Or your finished product. So that's exactly the way you have to tackle these questions. Normally, it's a little bit more centralized on one subject, but what happens is you get a chance to shine. Somebody gets to add the glittery stuff, somebody gets to add the ornament, somebody gets to add the light, and at the end of the day, hopefully, your team puts the ornament at the top, the star, the angel, whatever you want to call it. But it's building upon it. It's not a quick response. It's not a yes or a no. Because this young man right here, I just listened to the information that he was giving us in the form of answering a question. Now, he could have taken that question and he could have built on it. Judge Holmes was saying, kind of flabbergast him, but you just build it up and you use the information that you gathered to build it up. And here's the key thing. The more you know about one something, the longer you can talk about it. And you can talk about it from so many different angles. And that's the comfort you have to have. But there's one other key thing you have to remember. Each and every one of you are different. Your style is different. Your delivery is different. And to be believable by people, you have to be whom? Yourself. He said you can practice where? And when you look in the mirror, do you see anybody other than yourself? So what I'm trying to do is just give you some helpful pointers that will remove the big crowd, that will remove the big lights. You know, a lot of times when people are speaking, they can't even see they can't see the audience because of the lights in their face. And I'm telling you from a little bit of experience, so I'm just telling you, if you be yourself and you hear people say come from the heart, then you become more believable, more demonstrative in terms of what you're trying to present, and people start saying, even if they don't know it, I heard that, yeah, I heard that before. You knew, they got that right, man. And all of a sudden, the judges start believing that you know what you're talking about. The one young lady that got up there reading her information rather hurriedly told me one thing. She knows that information back and forth. Because you can't read that fast if you don't know it. And all she has to do is just relax and be herself and build upon it. Remember the Christmas tree? We start with a tree. We add something to it. Somebody adds something else. And we continue to make it better and better. When the person comes in, the third or fourth person, he's not making the tree uglier, right? He's making it more beautiful, correct? And that's how your answers have to be. And all of a sudden, when that young man talks about Nat Turner, then he may have missed a key point about Nat Turner that's relevant to the question. The other person is jumping the bits to jump out their seat to continue to build upon it. And all of a sudden, it gets interesting and it gets exciting and it becomes engaging. And you're looking at each other like, I can't wait to press that button. And the first black mayor of Beaumont, he was the only black mayor of Beaumont.
This was a program that we're trying to get implemented in the district in order to teach various cultures as well as some history of various races in the United States, preferably African American. We do Caucasian cultures, we do Asian cultures. We basically influx the entire cultural spectrum into education so that we can become more culturally diverse.
My name is Kateria Caesar, and on behalf of the students in the History Challenge program here at Billy Ray Smith Science and Medical Technology Macon Middle School, we would like to say thank you for coming out to hear what we have prepared, and thank you for supporting us in this program. Have a good evening.
This event was to showcase to the 100 Black Men, who is also a sponsor of the History Challenge. They want us to have some kids who are well-known, knowledgeable in history. In this one particular time, we're concentrating on Black history. But we will be looking at Hispanic history, Chinese history, Oriental history, and we're going to also be looking at some of the different religious groups that they have. So we will spend the whole year talking about other cultures.
I think they were talking about them projecting their voice and talking loud. I guess most of the kids nowadays hear teachers saying, all right, students, we're inside, use your inside voice. Yeah. When you're outside, you use your outside voice. Well, this is one of those times where when you're on the inside, we want you to use your outside voice.
Your stage voice.
Okay?
Who had W. Du Bois? And then who had Maya Angelou? See, I can share with both of you, having met her and visited with her and traveled with her, and having gone to the actual site where did W. Du Bois remain in America?
No, he self-exiled. He went to Ghana and Africa.
That's right. And actually going to his grave site, visiting at his house. You can go into his house today and touch the very things he used. It's not even protected. So when you find out that kind of information, you can both baffle them, a judge. You can truly baffle them, but people can help you really decorate that. Thank you.
All right. From us, we would like to present you with a card thanking you for supporting us through our journey to get here.
Okay, Mr. Jones. They all signed it. Well, thank you.
We accept this. We're proud of you.
First year, first 6 weeks, first semester. Now they plan to make this available to the kids at school, at the different schools. All 3 schools will have a chance to have a multicultural program, and we emphasize different cultural groups every month, all throughout the year. So this is a pilot program, and we'll see how this works before they start doing the other program.